Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I have been following very closely William Ruto's local tours, the development tours that he began immediately he formed this quote unquote government of national unity or broad based government. With renewed vigor and energy, he decided to start his usual mannerism of traveling from one region to the other. In Mombasa, then it was in Mount Kenya, then in Kisii. In as much as it tries to call it a development tour, the development that you can talk about are promises. And of course, in Kisii, he launched some affordable housing, one of the pet projects that he really loved, even though the the housing levy or the affordable housing did not begin with him. It was there before, but he has really jump-started it well. Now, people have been watching very closely because in those tours we've seen people being heckled. It was the governor of Nyamira that was heckled, then Kisii Human Rep, who was claiming that Simba Arati is the one who sent some hooligans there. But today, if you ask me, was almost the worst day for me because it paints and gives us a picture of a president who is taking us for granted. First of all, I want you to watch these pictures where William Ruto gets in a hotel and is now taking some tea and banana. Well, you may be asking, is that an issue? To me, it is an issue because why do you think William Ruto gets into a small hotel like that to take some banana with tea? He's trying to tell people that he's a chief hustler. He's trying to prove that he's a leader, proving servant leadership. But when you look at it very, you scrutinize the behavior because whatever you do must be in tandem with your character. Do you believe that William Ruto is a hustler? Do you believe that he's a servant leader? Because that is, in essence, what do you think? Why should he be giving us pictures of where he's taking some simple meal? Because he takes it for a day, he will fly in a very expensive jet, gets back to Surgoi, Karen, or wherever he is. Do you think the meal will be the same again? It reminds me of a day where Rachel, Charlene Ruto was telling us that she knows what Kenyans are going through. Then came this moment when William Ruto is launching a posho meal. Take a look at this.
Unga ndio hii. Very good. Yes. Test unga nashukuru. Yeah. Look at that. Smart.
So why would launching a portion will become an issue? To me, one, people looking at the amount of money that William Ruto has spent for a presidential errand like that, there are millions of shillings that go there. So when people see you trying to launch a portion meal, and then there was this earlier communication that William Ruto was relaunching a road that had been launched by his predecessor, Uhuru Kenyatta, then it makes the whole event a mockery. It feels that William Ruto thinks we are imbeciles because, one, did he, for example, provide the money to construct that portion mill? Because those are things that can be done by an MCA. If you start launching a portion mill, then would you want an MCA to launch, a member of parliament? Because I think that even a governor, that is even too trivial for a governor to launch things like that. Let's say that he provided the money. you provide the money, send some UDA member of parliament, or because you are saying that you have a government of national unity, a broad-based government, send an opposition leader. If that area falls within the jurisdiction of an opposition leader, send them. And so this kind of behavior are there, if you ask me, they don't add up to anything. Instead of launching a push mill, we have corruption to deal with. We have wastage. He needs to create more jobs. Investors are running away courtesy of the high taxes. And so when you start giving us all those, to me, it seems like a joke. And this is why people are giving him a lukewarm reception. People don't feel any need because he is predictable. And I want you to watch this as he was telling the people about affordable housing and telling them that that will create jobs, telling them that they will need masons, and I don't know what those people are working in the construction industry. And people are quiet. They are not cheerful as you would think until he was asking, or are you choosy? Because they agreed during the campaigns that they will take any job. They say kazi ni kazi. Take a look at the kind of cold reception that he received in Ogembo.
Hapa tunajenga nyumba 244 ghorofa 9 hapa Ogembo katika kiwanja hii. Hapa tunahitaji vijana 400 ambao watatusaidia kufanya kazi hiyo hapa Ogembo. Vijana wa hapa Ogembo muko? Vijana muko? Mbona mnakaa kama nyinyi ni wale wa kuchagua jembe? Sisi tulikubaliana kazi ni kazi. Ama namna gani? Tulikubaliana kazi ni kazi, sivyo? Hapa tutahitaji vijana wenye taaluma mbalimbali. Tunahitaji architect hapa. Tunahitaji mason hapa. Carpenter. Tunahitaji electrician. Hata mtu ya mkono tunahitaji. Yule transporter tunahitaji. Mtu ya simiti tunahitaji. Mtu ya kupanga mawe tunahitaji. Mtu ya kulipa watu pesa, accountant tunahitaji. Muko hama muko?
Did you realize that it is not connecting to the people because people just feel he's lying to us? That's why there is not that enthusiasm from the people who's asking, ama nyinyi wa kuchagua. And it is because people had watched what was happening, launching a posho mill, taking a mill. You know, those are trivial things. When you see a leader start behaving that way, they don't have an agenda. That is the truth. We've got real agendas in the country. There are things we need to do. Stop going to a hotel and taking a meal. We know you. We know that William Ruto can never associate himself with the hustler. And the hustler thing will not work in 2027. And this thing about housing levy, and then people even understand that it was stopped by the courts. Even though Simbarati said that they really need, I know the land in Kisii are very narrow, not very big. Now, then there was this moment when he's telling us that the earlier calling letters that went to, admission letters that went to the students that are going to the university got, that there were erroneous communication about even the school fees. And he was telling us that as if, kindly take a look because I don't believe our president.
I want to announce from Kisii that we have changed the delivery model because we have increased the money available for funding for our higher education. We have increased the money from 45 billion to 82 billion. The letters that were issued by our universities were misleading because they were talking about the cost of the courses. We want letters to be released. Those that were released earlier to be withdrawn and proper letters issued as to the amount of money the parent is supposed to pay and not the cost of the course. So I want to tell all parents in Kenya, the letters that you received from universities indicating the cost of the course your child was going to attend to, Those letters are misleading. We are going to instruct the universities to issue new letters from today that will indicate how much a parent is supposed to pay and not the cost of the course of their child. Because we want to make sure that every child in Kenya has access to education. And I want to assure parents that we will make sure that no child in Kenya remains out of higher education because of the ability of their parent. We will make sure every child has an opportunity to acquire higher education knowledge in our universities and in our TVETs.
I'm just trying to give you a picture of a person who claims he was elected by majority of Kenyans and who said he understands his role as a president. But then when you look at his activities, it is full of PR. It is full of PR and it's full of theatrics, political theatrics. I don't want a leader. We know the amount of salary that William Ruto gets. We know where he lives. We know the kind of lifestyle that he lives. We know that just recently Gen Zs went to the street because of the mess and the rot in the country. Then you want to come and hoodwink Kenyans by those PR. Personally, I don't like it. And this is why the people of Ogembo simply, there's a lot of mobilization. That's why they went for those rallies, but not from their heart. You go and you think you want to listen to anything new. Let me ask you, if you attend any of William Ruto's rallies or you've watched them very closely, is there anything new? They're repeated jokes, I can call them, repeated narratives. Tumetenga, we will do this. Wangapi wamesema watafanya hivi ama mnachagua kazi. You can always predict what William Ruto is going to say. And Kenyans are very serious. If you listen to his deputy, 2 years into office, they are still thanking people for electing them. And you wonder. I think William Ruto was never serious. He never had a plan. And if there was a plan, it was a plan to initiate and perpetuate corruption. There's nothing new. There's nothing good in this government. And I pity the members of parliament or the members from the ODM who have gotten into this government. If they go there to continue with the system, it's okay. But if they think there's going to be any change, it won't. In fact, they will either get into the system or they will resign, because it is Ruto's policies and those who are very serious are like water and paraffin. They don't match up.